Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints View channel for something content for our match preview and predicted lineup ahead of our home game at St Mary's against Brighton and Hove Albion. It's a short trip for them and it's another opportunity to get another big 3 points for this informed Saints side. But before we get into it, do make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Lots of new subscribers, so hello to you guys who've come from Thogden's video, which I was in. Cheers for subscribing. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on so you don't miss a thing, and make sure you're also following us on our socials. Right, let's get into it. But before we talk about the game on Thursday, let's talk about Saints' last game. A massive point against Manchester United at Old Trafford, 2-2. I mean, it's well deserved. We didn't do enough to win the game, in my opinion, but what an incredible result it was against the league's best side at the moment in terms of form. Really strong start, took the lead through Armstrong, and then a quick fire double from United sort of turned the game a little bit, and I think we looked quite leggy for the next sort of 45 minutes, sort of at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. But I think from the hour mark, we were the better side. We were knocking on the door, and thankfully we were able to get the ball in the back of the net very late mind in Fergie time through substitute Obafemi. And yeah, massive point. Doesn't do much for us in the terms of the table. We stay 12th, but we are level on points with Everton going into these final 3 games. 5 points off the top half is possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but I guess it's something to play for a little bit. It's not substantial, but I'd love to see us fight for the top half. Why not? We may as well. But at the moment, I'm absolutely adoring this team, and I'm so excited to see what it can do. I mean, to take 5 points from Man City, Everton, and Man United is just a huge statement of intent, and we're looking fantastic. But Man United on paper was the final sort of tricky game against a Big Six side. Of course, we have got Sheffield United on the final day, which will be incredibly tough. And no disrespect to Brighton and Bournemouth, but these are more winnable on paper, which is a good thing because I think we do need to finish the season on high. Of course, since the restart, we've been fantastic. We've picked up some great results, but if we could finish with another 7 points, I think going into next season, that would be a really strong statement of intent. We'd hopefully start the season well, and that could prove vital if we want to have a really strong finish next year. But in terms of team news, unfortunately, Djenepo and Boufal are still out. I believe Djenepo is actually out for the season, maybe Boufal too, which is a real shame. I mean, he's not really had the season we would have liked, but hopefully he can come back fitter and stronger for next season. Leaves us in a bit of a difficult situation in terms of making changes, because I noticed, especially against United, our bench was so weak. You know, no offence to the players on the bench, but we just didn't have many options. We got a handful of centre-backs, maybe a midfielder or two, but pretty much no left winger, a right winger in Smallbone, which isn't his natural position. It is looking a little bit thin at the moment, which probably means that in the transfer window we could do with maybe 1 or 2 extra investments just to add to the depth of the squad. But because the United game was on Monday, and of course we also played last Thursday, I do expect changes in this one. Ralph has said that rotation is probably likely, whether it's 1 or 2 players or 4, 5, 6. Hopefully it's the former. I don't think we need to make too many changes, because if we do, then we risk not getting a result, or at least the result we want against Brighton on Thursday, because it's pretty much a completely different side. But let's talk about our opponents, Brighton and Hove Albion, who come to St Mary's on Thursday. I think they've had a bit of a quiet season. As an outsider, I don't hear much said about Brighton, who are about to complete their first season under the leadership of Graham Potter, who I think has done well. He's done better than I expected, to be honest. I didn't really understand why they went for a manager who got Swansea to mid-table in the Championship last year, but because of his attacking football and the fact that the Swansea board weren't looking to invest, that's more so why he chose to leave, and why Brighton wanted to take him down to the south coast. But I think they've done okay. I think the fact that they got Malpe in last summer was a really strong buy. He's obviously scored a good chunk of their goals, and they haven't scored many in the league. I believe it's just 36. They've had a few good results since the restart, obviously beating Arsenal 2-1, which was actually their first win in the league in the entirety of 2020 at that point. So, you know, that tells you everything about their form before the restart. They look like a side that could potentially be going down and be in big trouble, especially with the sort of final set of fixtures that they've got. But luckily enough for them, they've been able to pick up a few decent points here and there, and look pretty much set to stay up now. 36 points, they're in 15th. I think they'll be absolutely fine with 3 games to go. And they've been an odd team to play against since their promotion for Saints. You'd say Saints have good form against them, that we're unbeaten in the league against them, and with 1 cup game too. But some of the games have just been a bit odd. The first season, it was 2-1 all draws. Neither game were very inspiring, probably the fair results. Last season, of course, we had that 2-0 lead at St Mary's and we somehow blew it under Mark Hughes and drew 2-2 and then got a 1-0 win at their place, which was very deserved. So probably should have taken 6 points from their place last season. Obviously got a win in the cup down there as well too. And then this season, that trip down in August, oh my God, what a day out that was. And it's crazy to think that that was the same season as now, but it was almost 11 months ago. That's how mad this whole year and season's been, with obviously with the break. 11 months ago, but 2-0 win in the August bank holiday, sunshine down on the south coast. Oh yeah, amazing day. Musa Djenepo got his first Saints goal and Redmond secured the points late on with his tap in. So yeah, good memories of playing Brighton, to be honest. We usually do pretty well against them. And when it comes to this game, I'm feeling pretty confident. I don't see why they'll give us too many problems or how they'll give us too many problems. Of course, rotation is pretty much set. So could that mean that the team we put out, maybe the flow is not the same, maybe we don't play as well, and it could be the same for Brighton, so we'll have to see about that. But going on to a prediction, I predicted 2-0 on Thogden's predictions video. I think I'm going to stick with that one. I don't fear Brighton, to be honest with you. I think this is going to be a pretty standard win for us. I can see them coming away with a point, to be honest with you. I think it's obviously quick turnaround, and we have got another game just 3 days after this one too against Bournemouth, and that'll be a good one to win. But I don't see why we shouldn't be winning this football match, to be honest, with the form that we're in. Right, onto the predicted lineup side of things. I think that we will be seeing rotation, as I said, but I don't think it's going to be too many changes. Starting with goalkeeper, of course, it's going to be Alex McCarthy. Potentially, we could see Angus Gunn in this one, actually, having thought about it. Ralph did say that he'd like to give him some minutes, so that could be interesting to see. But in terms of the back line, I don't see any need to change it. Carl Walker-Peters at right back, Stevens and Bednarek as the centre-backs, and Bertrand left back. We could put Vestergaard in there potentially, but I don't see any reason why we need to change that defence, because we will need our first choice defence. Going on to the midfield, I think Romeo's going to be taken out for Højbjerg. He needs to start a game, I think, just to keep his fitness levels up, and he'll be next to Ward-Prowse in the middle. On the left, I think it's going to be Redmond again. He's one of our fittest players. He can pretty much play 90 minutes every single week, twice a week maybe. On the right, I do think Smallbone's going to come in for Armstrong just to keep it fresh. Armstrong did come off and for Smallbone in the United game, and Smallbone actually looked very good, so I think he deserves a start. And then up front, I think it's going to be last-minute hero in Obafemi taking Adams' place, and I do think Danny will start this one, just because obviously he's our best player, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him rested and maybe have Shea up front or maybe even Long. That is the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you're feeling ahead of the game against Brighton tomorrow in the comment section below. If you have enjoyed the video, leave it a like. Make sure you have hit the subscribe button with your notifications turned on. Follow us on all of our socials, and we'll see you tomorrow for our live match watch along as Saints take on Brighton at St Mary's. See you soon, guys.